It's Feedback Friday. Our Let's Plays Feedback Friday. I'm just gonna be upfront with it. I'm doing this solely to post it in the Feedback Friday thread, and this is my latest pathetic attempt to get some poor sap out there to finally watch this god-awful show, even if just for a few seconds. You still with me? Probably not. Well, it was nice having you. So anywho, Silent Hill 2. Ooh, it's a scary, as Mario said in that one thing. Remember that? It was either Mario Teaches Typing or one of those other early Mario PC games. He says the quote that I mentioned. So yeah, we gotta knock him over the head with a blunt instrument, as you do. The depth perception's really bad. So, there we go. So by the way, if this is your first episode in the series that you're watching, which it probably is, where am I going with this? So yeah, it's everybody's favorite game, Silent Hill 2 HD. I know how much you internet people just love this game and all of its quirks, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
Let's see, I already used up all of my Silent Hill 2 trivia in the previous episode. I talked about Tom Hullett. I talked about those fat nerds. Okay, let's see what's going on here with the game. Let's stay focused. Okay, so you can't hear the walkie-talkie. I remember once when I was, speaking of walkie-talkies, I remember once when I was a lad and I had to go to my dad's work Christmas party, and there was a kid who got a walkie-talkie as a present, and then a couple minutes later his fingers got caught in a door and he had to go to the hospital. Fun times. Wonder how that kid turned out. So, not much to say as far as Silent Hill. More walking around in the fog. How do real Let's Players do this stuff? There's nothing that's actually worth saying about this moment. Oh, he's walking through that fog again. You can't stretch that out to 15 minutes worth of dialogue. So anywho, we get our first weapon and we can fight the spookities with it. So yeah, like that. The combat's extra clunky to make the enemies more threatening. You're just supposed to run away, but I already said that in the last episode. So he's not technically dead, but we can't reach him when he was lying on the ground like you saw a second ago. Gotta wait for him to stand back up. We should really just run away, but since this is a pre-recorded video, that's not an option. Okay, looks like we're good. So, what was the main character's name in this, by the way? I don't think they ever said. If they did, I wasn't really... I must have skipped it by accident. I know how Let's Play fans love it when you skip over the cutscenes. I can hear the angry posts already. When the Let's Player doesn't do the game right, it makes me so angry. That's my impression of you. Why is this the video I'm sending for Feedback Friday? People are gonna watch this and think, well, this guy's insane. Why would anybody watch this? This is just the incoherent ramblings of a madman. It's like with the... I think there actually might be something wrong with me in that department, because I saw a Chris Chan video once, and in the comments, people were saying, like, this is just nonsense. This is just the recursive ramblings of a lunatic. But the thing that led me to believe that maybe there's something wrong with me is that the video made perfect sense to me. I mean, all the people in the comments were confused, but I was totally with Chris Chan. I could follow what he was saying exactly. Maybe that means I got a damaged mind or something.
Yeah, you got the stupid bullshit.
All that unnecessary padding by putting the key in some remote location that you can't get to easily. That's just how they did it back then. Unnecessary padding. What else is there to talk about? That car we passed a second ago, it looked very old-fashioned, and I suppose one could wonder what time period this game's supposed to be set in, because that car looked very old. I guess there really isn't anything else that suggests a time period, and not as far as I can tell. Okay, so we're close to the place where we need to be, the scary building with all the spookities in it. That's coming up, so you better get this party started. That was really cringy, I shouldn't have said that. But we're too far into this take for me to start over, so we're just gonna leave it. Okay, in the last episode I said something about, I thought the main character's name was Harry Enton, I want to say, but I think they called him James on the walkie-talkie, so that raises the question, who's Harry Enton? Who's Percy? Like that episode of the Continue show. Did you ever see that episode where they were playing Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom, and they had a menu option in the game that just said Percy, and when they clicked it, the character just said, who's Percy? That was pretty darn funny. Every once in a while, the Continue show is mildly humorous, but not too often though. Most gaming channels are just junk, honestly, and this one is no exception. So let me ask you for like the third time, are you still with me? I can guarantee that no one's still here at this point, and if you still are, well, I apologize. I apologize for wasting your time. Just like this one thing I was gonna do, they had a contest on Twitter, a couple of weeks ago where you could narrate a clip from Smash Bros, and just as a joke I was just gonna totally half-ass it and pretend like I just didn't care about Smash Bros at all, and pretend like I didn't even know who the characters were, and just say some funny stuff there, and I could have sent it to the guy and he'd be all, what the fuck is this? I don't know why that's the voice I gave for him. So we were close to the scary apartment. Yeah, it should be right there. It's very easy to get lost in all this N64-esque fog. I guess it's hard to say if they were doing that for scares or if they were trying to hide the poor render distance like in Turok. You guys ever played Turok on the N64? I haven't. I've got it on my N64 flash cart, but I've never actually gotten around to playing it. Looks decent from what I've seen. Maybe they can put Turok in Smash Bros someday. Or is that against the ever-changing rules for who can and can't be a Smash character, because technically he came from a comic book first, so that makes him ineligible to be in Smash Bros. I can hear the comments now. I mean, hardly anybody even knows who Turok is anymore, so you could definitely get away with it. So let's try and predict what some of the feedback's gonna be in the feedback Friday. Oh wait, we'll get back to that later. And wait for this to load. So once you get into the scary apartment, my capture card couldn't really pick up on anything because it was too dark. So we're gonna have a graphic explaining all of this. Here it comes. I don't know why I needed to put in a graphic to explain that. I could have just said it out loud, but I mean, hey, here we are. Ooh, it's a different type of scary. It's got dangly legs. Anyway, could you identify the music that I used in the graphic? I don't think anyone made it far enough in the video to be able to do that, but I mean, maybe somebody did, who knows? But yeah, that music is from something. I didn't compose it myself in FL Studio like someone with talent would do. I ain't about all that. So yeah, this segment would have just been awful without the flashlight. Even then, you can still barely see anything. Hardly anything at all. Does anything else even happen in this episode gameplay-wise? I didn't really preview this footage that thoroughly before I started recording this episode. So we went in a room. Okay, yeah, I think there's something of value in here, like perhaps another key. You got a scary TV off to the side. You know, much like the old car from before, that TV raises the question of what era does this take place in? Because that was clearly a very old-fashioned TV. Looks like something they'd have in the Soviet Union, if you had a TV at all, because very few people did. As you know, that's just not a good system to live under. That's what people come to this channel for, geopolitics. Is that why you clicked on this Silent Hill 2 Let's Play, to hear my opinion on Eastern European communism at the mid to late 20th century? Okay, so that laundry chute does, or trash chute rather, does something. But I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out next episode. And, yeah. Next episode. Just like that Snoop Dogg song, The Next Episode. I think that's what it's called.